We can start with Ricochet. So, okay, he initially did an interview, and then that interview turned into him going on Twitter to like respond because that's what Ricochet does. So, from Cage Side Seats, so credit to them for getting this transcript. He was on the Mark Hoke show on February 3rd. Ricochet went into a little more depth while talking about his WWE run, specifically 2019 to 2024. And he said, "You've seen Marvel movies, right? Thanos snaps, and there was a 5 year blip, and people who were just gone. That 5 years was like being blipped away into a different universe. It just wasn't what I was doing. It wasn't me. Coming back to AEW and finding the love. It's like when Tony Stark finally defeated Thanos. That's how I feel. Ricochet finally came back to what he was doing. And I feel like that 5 years was just blipped away. So, yeah, basically, in the Marvel universe, Thanos got all the Infinity Stones. He snapped his finger and turned like half the population into dust.
Why only half the
Avengers,
population?
that's all he wanted. His thought process was the population is over consuming and destroying the earth. So if he destroys half the population,
Oh God,
then the world will be
he's
able
got
to
he's
strive.
got some fucking tree hugging agenda. You're
Yes.
consuming too much, man. Gotta put the population down, man.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, so there's too many people, so he wanted to wipe out half, which then would fix everything. And children would not know going to sleep hungry because there'd be bounties of food and all this stuff. He didn't say global warming, but I'm sure that was probably in there somewhere. But yeah, so that was part one of Thanos, and then part two, the Avengers win, and then they bring back the other half of the population. So that's what he's referring to there. They undo what he did in the first movie. So yeah, Ricochet, he then goes on, he says, "I already know how this is going to sound, and I already know how people are going to take this. But I think that the day we got called up to Raw from NXT, he's talking about here, was the worst thing that happened to Ricochet's wrestling career. That 5 years really tarnished Ricochet's wrestling legacy." Yes, he was correct. He knew that that was going to sound crazy. And it was exactly that. Like, what legacy? You had no legacy. And no one knew about him.
Yeah, in fact, you can argue that he wouldn't be in AEW if it wasn't for WWE. Probably, he probably wouldn't be as
Yeah,
compensated as highly.
it is hard to say because Tony Khan does find those people.
Yeah,
Maybe he would be in AEW, but I think WWE really helped. First of all, it helps now with his name recognition.
absolutely.
So probably helps him higher up on the card.
Like if he just came from, or was it Pro Wrestling Gorilla or whatever, to AEW straight from there, he'd be with Action Andretti or something.
Yeah, he'd have to pay his dues. So this definitely fast tracked him to being a bigger star. So this was the part of the interview that everybody was reacting to, specifically him saying he had his legacy. But it's not done there because he goes on further. So this is where he's responding to fans now. He's doing a Q&A, obviously, because everybody was reacting to what he had said. So in a response to a follower who was shocked Ricochet hated WWE considering he was paid and put on television, Ricochet wrote, "They took my love of pro wrestling away. I'll never forget how it felt walking into work every week, and that platform was only to make another look good at my expense. And I told them I'd rather quit and go back to the indies and make whatever I'd make than come back next week." That's what he says here. And he followed up with this. Same thing happens to this is ultimately why I wanted to talk about it. This line here. Same thing happens to Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Apollo Crews, and many others. WWE kills legacies and the love of sport. It's what they do best. Now, it's funny that Apollo Crews was on TV a few days later after this comment. But two, if I was Apollo Crews, I'd be upset as hell as Ricochet's like, "Keep my goddamn name out your mouth. I got a good thing going here. Why are you shining light on me? Now they're going to fire me. You know how many budget cuts I made it through, and now you're going to bring my name up?" because it's WrestleMania time, and that's usually when they do more budget cuts.
Well, I don't know why he's comparing himself to Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor.
Well, I don't know about Finn Balor.
He was a legend.
Yeah, but he's also a legend in WWE, kind of.
No, I mean,
I wouldn't say they killed his legacy.
He was the man as Prince Devitt.
See, that's the thing. I didn't know Finn Balor before WWE.
Yeah, he was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then he mentioned Shinsuke. I think it's pretty well known what's happened to Shinsuke here.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong, but I think comparing himself to those people.
I don't think he was necessarily comparing himself. I think it was just more pointing out other examples.
Well, no, because they had a legacy to ruin, like you said. His legacy was what, Lucha Underground, Prince Puma.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what there was to ruin.
Yeah, I agree. There wasn't a legacy to ruin, but yeah, just throwing in there at Apollo Crews. Don't talk about me. I got a good thing here. My family is eating good. But yeah, it's just funny that this came out and then he's on TV a few days later.
They all were.
Yeah. Shinsuke had a match, but that was set up beforehand. So, and then later on, he was asked if he hated it so much, why people signed with WWE. He said, because it was a childhood dream, so they want to see for themselves. Plus, lots of people like fame, and it's the biggest company, so you'll be more famous. He's just saying people in general because it's childhood dream and money and fame. I mean, if you're getting into wrestling, I don't know. What are you doing it for? To put on some bangers? I just love the game. I just want to put on those bangers, melty bangers.
Well, I don't think fame and money is a realistic goal.
It is. That should be the only goal.
No, being champion should be the only goal, and whipping your opponent.
Well, let's see, that goes to Graps. Yes, being champion obviously is one of them, but I think he's talking about why adults would get into it. Now, as a kid, yes, you want to be champion.
Yeah, but not everybody's getting the money and the fame.
You better have a better chance than not. Yes, I would say pretty much everybody gets the fame. Now, how famous, that's another question, but you get something. You get more than if you didn't go to WWE.
That's fair.
Like the whole NXT to OnlyFans pipeline. They're getting that audience because they were in WWE for at least a little bit. Yeah, so then finally he's like, questioned for not saying anything while he was in WWE. And then he said, I tried to quit. They didn't give me my release. They did not want me to leave. And I don't really know why people are so upset about it. Like, why are people calling him out for saying he didn't like it? I get it. The legacy thing is a little much because you didn't have a legacy before WWE, really. As with a lot of people, I think that pocket of time that they were in black and gold was like the height of a lot of people. Johnny Gargano, Ricochet, Tommaso Ciampa. Now, maybe he makes something of himself in AEW, but I don't know. Maybe that's just showing you how special that moment really was, the black and gold era.
Was Ricochet in that era?
Yeah, he was in black and gold. He came towards the end of it,
okay,
but he was there. The biggest Ricochet moment was with Velveteen Dream. We're going to play it on stream. You got to see it. Like, if there's any legacy, that's the legacy right there.
And then he got injured by Braun Breaker.
And wrestled Brock Lesnar and got no offense.
Yes, as well as he should have.
But again, that goes back to his whole point was getting called up to the main roster. That was the downgrade of his career, getting called up.
Because he wasn't the top guy. That's all it was. He didn't accept the opportunities that was given to him. He was on TV all the time. He was in matches all the time. He was in high-profile matches. But he wasn't the top guy. That's what he really wanted.
Well, he's not going to be the top guy when you got real men there. What's he going to believably go out there and beat Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton? No, he's not going to beat those guys believably.
Remember when he tried to help Rollins? Like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. Like, I'll let you know who to ask for help because it won't be you.
Yeah, if I need help, I'll ask you to find someone for me. But yeah, that's the whole Ricochet ordeal.